Do you know how many times I've actually started and restarted this video? 6 times, and that's only in 5 minutes. We're talking about the introduction, for Pete's sake. It's just not funny. And I keep wondering, am I ever going to get done? Every time I start shooting, I hear this voice telling me, not good enough, not good enough. And I actually take it on board. So what do? I stop, I erase, and then I start over again. Okay? Then I start shooting, and then I hear this other voice telling me, oh dear, you can't do this. You're not good at this. It's just not your thing. So what do I do again? I stop and I redo it. Then I hear another voice. This is after starting to shoot again. And this voice now tells me, something? Just stop and get on with it. Let me ask you something. How often do you hear these voices in your head? We engage in this ongoing internal conversation, and the thing is, only you know what's going on in your head. Let's just take a look at the way in which I kept on interrupting myself in the shooting of the introduction. I was hearing these voices that were telling me, you know what? You just can't do this. It's way beyond you. So that was one voice. And then another voice comes in and tells me, you know what? This is way above you. You can't deal with it. And then another voice comes in and tells me, hey, why don't you just get on with it? Otherwise you're going to be here all day. And before you know it, it was actually influencing me in the way in which I was actually shooting. Because I felt, something? Yeah, let me just delete that because it doesn't look okay, it doesn't sound okay. And this is what our voices actually do to us. Those internal conversations, they influence what you do and how you feel about yourself. Before we know it, we actually start to believe the voices that we are hearing in our heads, and they start influencing the way in which we do things. But they also become our beliefs. We believe those voices in our heads because they are so strong, and we've been having these conversations with ourselves for such a long time that it has become ingrained in us and it has become a part of us. And yes, that is when we go into our default. That's just who I am. So to help you understand a little bit more clearly about the voices that go on in our head that have a way of influencing us so much, I am going to use transactional analysis, or TA, to help you understand and to see more clearly and very specifically as to where these voices actually come from and why they influence us in the way that they do, making us create these beliefs and tell stories about the people that we actually are. Transactional analysis was founded by Eric Berne. Now, what Eric Berne said was that we all have 3 different ego states. These ego states influence the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we act. When we talk about ego states, it's not the ego that we normally talk about, which is, when somebody's full of themselves and they think that they're the best thing since sliced bread. No, that's not the ego states we're talking about. These ego states are actually a state of existence within our own minds. The first one is the parent ego state. Okay. With the parent ego state, basically what happens is that it acts and speaks like our parents or authority figures. We have those ongoing all the time in our heads, isn't it? It can be either nurturing or controlling, yeah? They're the ones who are setting the rules and expectations on how you should actually behave, do or not do in order to be able to survive in life. The parent ego state can also be critical. You can't, you mustn't, you shouldn't because. And that's where all the expectations actually lie, within the parent ego state. Next, we have the adult ego state. Again, just take yourself back into your mind. And I'm explaining as I go along, you can just take a look at the diagrams. And this is the rational and logical part of us. It is very much the here and the now, centered on what's going on here. It helps us make decisions and find solutions to, stressful situations or just everyday living. It's what brings balance within us. That is the adult ego state. And then lastly, we have the child ego state. The child ego state is just what it says it is. It is the way we used to feel and act when we were children, when we were younger, all the way from the formative years. So within the ego state, we're carrying all these emotions. The child can be spontaneous, can be fun, can be rebellious, can be manipulative. All the heavy emotions actually lie in the child ego state. We use all three ego states, but we switch between them depending on the situation. Consequently, the ongoing conversations in our heads. Let's take a look at an example. When I was trying to record just the introduction, I was starting and stopping, and that was something that was influencing my decision to delete and to re-record. The parent ego state was actually telling me I'm not good enough, criticizing, right? And controlling, very critical. I actually believed it. So what did I do? I went and I deleted it. Let's look at what the child ego state was actually telling me. No, I can't do it. This is way beyond me. I just can't do it. I'm afraid I'm going to be a failure. So what did that make me do? It made me go back and delete it and start over. Then along comes my adult ego state. It says, hey, just get on with it. Otherwise, you're going to be here all day, all night. So just get started. By looking at the ego states as they interact within us, we can begin to understand why we feel the way we feel and act the way we act. So when we encounter challenges, our different ego states interact. They start telling you what to do, how to do, who you are. So the parent ego state might criticize you. You can't do this, you're absolutely hopeless. We start to believe it. Or it might comfort us. Oh, don't you worry. Everything's going to be okay. Just calm down. That kind of nurturing. The child might react with insecurity, like how my child reacted. Can't deal with this. So what am I going to do? I am going to run. I am going to delete it because I can't deal with being a failure. When we encounter our challenges, our different ego states actually begin to react and interact with each other. You suddenly start hearing all these voices that are telling you all manner of things, and we believe them. Can you identify your loudest ego state? Do share in the comments below. You can always rewatch this video to help you understand even more where you spend a lot more of your time. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. To delve deeper into your emotional well-being, do download my free assessments, Transform Your Life and Emotional Intelligence for Women. These assessments will help provide insights into your current emotional state and areas for growth. To do this, follow the link below. If you would like personalized support as well, I do offer life coaching and therapeutic services. Just book a session on my website. We also have a Facebook page that you can join where you'll find support with resources as well as talking to other women who might be in the same situation as you. It really helps. Again, all the links are below. So until then, do take care. God bless you and see you next time.